So where do we even begin tonight? Let's start at the beginning.
With the thermal.
With the thermal. So I took you guys to the tree where I saw the beady red eyes.
Yes.
No, let's even back up. Right when we walked out there.
Something was throwing rocks maybe or falling out of the tree. Couldn't tell really.
Right. That was the first.
And that's when we heard the horny noise.
The horn.
Yeah, the horn noise.
It almost sounded, to me, it almost sounded like a car horn out in the woods. And I know that where we're at, there's no room for a car to be. But for sure we heard that. Didn't we hear it twice?
Yes. The second one, I think, sounded a bit further away.
Okay. Then we walked by the tree.
Yes.
And I started doing thermal. Oh, we got critter out there.
Got what? Critter?
Look, right here, right in the middle.
Yes.
And that's when I saw what looked like an object. It was definitely a thermal, it was definitely registering a thermal, a heat signature. But then it moved away, didn't it? It moved wherever it went. Remember, you guys were all watching it. It was gone.
It went. It wasn't there.
It wasn't there. So in my opinion, I'm like, oh, maybe it was a raccoon or whatever. But again, you were asking, how far away do you think that was? My best guess, maybe 20 yards-ish. So if that was the case, and it was a small animal, it would have been a lot smaller. Again, my guess. Well, it disappeared, only to keep doing thermal, and it came back. I don't know if it came from above us. Back. And once it came back, it just stayed in that one position for how long? 10 minutes?
Oh, it was kind of a long time, yeah. But then it changed, didn't it? Didn't it change shape?
It looked like it changed shape a little bit. And again, the heat signature is not an X-ray. It will not go through trees or anything. So if there's any brush or anything in front of it, it's going to mask out the thermal image.
It could have been behind something.
Right. But again, in that case, it never moved again. And I mean, at first I thought, okay, well, maybe it was a false positive, meaning, remember, sometimes I thought at one point later on in the hike that we were catching an animal on a branch.
Yes.
But then, the more it calibrates and you're looking at it, you're like, nope, that's part of a branch.
Yeah.
So, but in this case, it wasn't there. It moved, came back, and was always there. We tried to wait it out, and we didn't.
We walked off.
And then we walked off, but
then we came back. Don't you remember?
Oh yeah.
The first time, yeah.
The first time, you're right. You're right, because we wanted to make sure that it was still there. And sure enough, it was still there. Is something.
Yeah.
And it's just sitting there.
Is there any way you can enhance that when you get home or anything?
It's going to be what it is, but...
I mean, look at it on a bigger screen, I mean.
Yeah, but then it's just more pixelation.
Pixelated, yeah.
I mean, I can't tell what this thing is, but whatever it is, to me, has a lot of patience right now.
Yes, yeah. But wouldn't it have gone when we
No,
came?
do me a favor. Stand right in front of this thing, right in front of me.
Oh, I don't know. It's a path there.
Okay, so I want to get you to judge your head. Okay, Mike, you can stand right next to her. Okay, so how tall are you, Mike?
Almost 6 foot.
All right.
11.
Yep. So if I go over to like this. So again, we really don't know exactly, what it was. It was definitely, to me, it was odd. I'm just going to say, because we were talking about if it was a deer or a larger animal like that, wouldn't it have moved?
You'd have seen some movement, wouldn't you?
Right, but it didn't move from its spot for 10 minutes, no matter what. So there was that. Then we started to go
We moved on up, didn't we? Went around that.
around the horseshoe
Yeah, and then up.
and then up, and nothing really happened
There
there
was that
per
kind
se.
of noise. You said you thought you heard something, but it was a tree making the.
Oh yeah, the squeaky. Yep,
Squeaky
because
noise.
of the wind, it sounds like
Yeah.
almost a baby cry.
Yeah.
Then
Then we walked further up, and that's when I saw that white light, really bright.
right, and you were saying right there, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. I know we were kind of high up, and when you're looking through the woods, are you looking, through everything, and you're looking at, who knows? I thought maybe it was like a house light.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, you were saying, is there any house light? And I knew there's no houses here or anything, but it was stationary.
Yeah, but it was really bright.
It was really bright. And then Mike, you saw
What I
it too.
thought at first is that I might have been looking at a house, but then it seemed like the more lights kept showing up down there.
Okay, so that's exactly it. So
And its location, there really couldn't be a house out there in the middle of the park where we were looking into the woods there.
yeah,
So,
none.
But then it went from one white light to one to its left, up a little bit, that was orange. Like an
That's-
orange, but
it's-
smaller. It wasn't the same size as the white one.
Yeah, and that's when I'm like, wait, what? Because I'm thinking now, are we looking at other hikers or hunters out in
Yeah.
the woods or doing something? But then when that orange light came on, that was surprising. And then Mike, you said you saw the red right away?
I saw, like, the one light I was looking at looked like a bright white light, and then it seemed like more lights went around it until it made a circle, and then I thought I seen a red light in the middle of it, and that's when everybody thought that it was somebody coming closer or something coming closer.
Yeah, because
And they kind of took off.
at that point
No,
it
but
looked
then
like it
there
was
But there was
moved.
the third one came in though, to the left of the orange one.
Before we freaked out and left?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was there too.
All
And
right.
then you said it was moving
Yes.
towards us, and that's when I
Lost it.
you started running too.
I don't rattle, I
To
don't
me, it
run.
seemed like it got a lot more clear. Like
was
whatever kind of light it was seemed to get to where I could see it a lot better, and it was more distinctive.
Right.
And that was when we basically thought it must be something coming a lot closer to us.
Right.
And we took off, and then
And when we took off, that
And we
just
got-
means we turned around and we started walking.
Back.
But then we thought,
let's
stood
go
there for a
back and
minute.
look at it again.
yeah, let's.
Got our
We got
guts
kind
up.
of got our bravery
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, we got our bravery back, and we went back there. But that's when we saw it, and
It was still. It was there.
it was
still.
there, and it's exactly what you said. It was like one light, then it was two lights, then
Then it
one
was
became
three,
yeah, but
then it
then
was-
one became really big.
You mean the white one?
The white one,
Yeah.
Then it got really bright and
Yes.
big,
And then
it absorbed. It looked like it.
But we went further on, don't you?
Right,
We
yes.
went off down, and then we came back up and looked at it, and that's when we saw the little one on the right of
Right.
the bigger white one come in and sort of go into the bigger white one.
Right. And even right then and there, I pulled out the thermal, tried to get thermal. I even pulled out my IR.
Yeah.
Tried to scope in it best I could. I even actually just took my phone and just tried to see if I could see anything, and you couldn't see. There's no way to document this. We just saw it.
It was the most peculiar thing I've ever seen. I mean, it was just odd. The different sizes of them and the gaps between them,
Yeah.
and where they were positioned and how they seemed to kind of like move a bit.
Right.
It was odd.
It was very odd. And then we had to get our bearings on because we had to go back that way. Remember I told you that was
Yeah.
the only way out.
Yeah.
Now there was one cheat way out, which we actually did take at the end. But
before that,
before that, yes.
we heard owl.
Well,
we heard an owl.
It just sounded like a normal owl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we heard what? Four or five?
It's like a woo. Like a
Right, and then exactly. And what'd you say? It sounded what?
Breathy.
It sounded like a vocalization, and it didn't sound like a bird of any kind. It sounded like something that came out
of lung, like breath.
something
Yeah.
that was making that the woo sound, you know.
Yeah. And that sounded pretty loud, and I'm glad we catch that on our each one.
Yeah,
So
hopefully.
compare, I'm sure we did. So that's a good thing.
Something else after that. Oh, what was it after? I was just going to say. I can't remember. So much gone on.
I know. It was a very eventful night with the thermal, with the lights.
Oh, the booming, that noise.
Oh, yeah, the explosion.
Yeah.
Again, this is really weird. People say, you know, is there any fracking going out here? But I mean, we heard.
Oh, I heard it. I mean, I
Like
heard
it
it quite a
just
few
like a
times. Yeah.
Just a big explosion type
It's
thing.
a loud, deep,
Boom.
thundery sound.
Yeah.
It's not thunder.
And it was not thunder. We did check the weather just to make sure that there was nothing near us at all that way.
Peculiar.
Yeah, and you know, and we ended up coming back. We did go back to where we thought maybe that's where the lights would have been.
Yeah.
So we did go to try to check that out, and we
I
saw
didn't really want to do it because of it. Kind of, it spooked me.
it was spooky. I gotta tell you, like you said, I felt you said it exactly right. As soon as you saw the orange,
That was ominous to me. There was something I didn't feel good about.
I was gonna say the same thing. As soon as I saw the orange, I was like, you know, I'm thinking we're seeing white lights. Okay, maybe hunters out there. I don't know. Maybe a house light way out there, and it got big, and that freaked me out. But when I saw that orange one, I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Then the red.
Yeah. And then that white one going into the bigger white one. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just peculiar. I mean, we were trying to think whether it was hunters out there or I don't know, other people.
I don't
you
know.
But I just wish I could
Yeah.
explain it more.
I know. I think that was about it.
Its location is the hardest thing to explain because
Right.
really
How
there
far
couldn't
away?
be anything there.
To me,
What would you say, Mike? First, your best guess, and I know it was in the
100
dark.
yards, 200 yards.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say too.
see, to me, it seemed like it was like 100 yards.
Okay, so
Maybe, I don't know. It's very hard to tell.
exactly,
because
and
it's
how
dark.
big they were and everything. Exactly.
But
I
that
can
white
tell
one
that's all
was.
just deep woods there. Though.
Right.
I can't. I'm kind of freaked out by it because I can't. I don't know what I was looking at.
No, neither did I. And we don't really know, and we have no documentation on camera at all. All we have is our testimony. But the three of us all saw the same thing.
And when we were going in, we seen the light.
Oh.
It's sort of in that area too.
That was the one you said was the plane.
That we think
thought was a
may
plane,
we
but-
thought might have been, but it was so bright.
That's true.
Light flash in the trees that stayed on for half a second and then seemed to move a little bit.
Do you think any of that looked like a plane or no?
Well, there was a plane that was over that
That
was
was going-
moving near that after that, but it seemed like it was too bright to be a plane.
Also, that plane seemed far away.
Yeah, it was pretty far.
So it's one that we just have to document because we were just out here last week and we saw something bright in the trees too. I mean, was this the same brightness? I saw for a second. I know you and Nadine
Yeah.
saw it a lot more than I did.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed like to me that it was bigger. It
Yeah.
was like a
I would say it was like a soccer ball
It
size.
looked like it lit up in between the leaves and the tree.
Yeah.
Maybe a light like this big. So seeing that plane afterwards, it seems like it wouldn't have been that bright.
It was almost a
That big.
coincidence.
Mm.
So then my next question is, how far over? Now we went around this horseshoe here. How far over do you think it was in the trees compared to where we're standing to where you saw it? If you had to gauge.
Half a football field, maybe?
So that's right above us almost.
Yeah.
Yeesh. All right, well, let's keep looking.
Plane went past, but it
Well,
was
so
facing me, the light.
because I think I caught just a split second of it, and then when I was looking up there, and all of a sudden you look in between the trees, then I saw the red tail light of a plane. So I'm thinking, well, it was just a plane,
But that was going from right to left. This
that
was
it was going straight ahead.
This one was facing us.
Yeah. So again, you know, we saw last week the same type of bright lights
Right.
in the treetops. So
But it wasn't white. It was like a, I don't know, it was a dimmer colour.
it was dimmer, do you think?
Yeah. Well, to me it was. What did you see, Mike? Was your
It caught my eye because it was just a bright flash, sort of.
Right.
And then I sat there and looked at it for a second, and I could see it,
Right.
and it was bright, and it looked pretty large, and then it just kind of disappeared. And then we're kind of looking around in the tree line, and we did see a plane back there, but it was so far away and so dim compared to what we seen.
Right.
It didn't really add up to be.
But the
what it
plane was going from our right to our left.
Right.
That light I saw was facing us. So
Wow.
I don't.
So it was a very eventful night. I don't know how much we caught besides the thermal and the audio with whether the owl or the
Yeah.
vocalization. Very
Yeah.
interesting night. And whew,
Come on.
you guys rock. And remember, we have your back.
Right.
Jeez.
I like how you say that. We're like, we got your back. You're like, yeah, well, who's got yours? So it was a great night, and I'm hoping to go through the footage on your body cams and everything.
We'll probably watch it on TV when we get home just
All
to
right.
see if we've caught anything. You know.
Definitely. All right. Well, good night.
Good night, people.